the show. I'm Tosh Taylor.
And I'm Jenna Morton, and we are coming to you from location again today, which is one of our favorite things to do, of course. And we are thrilled to be on location at the offices of LoveStrong with Louysa Akerley.
Hello, thank you for having me, you guys.
Well, thank you for inviting us to your office.
All the way to New York.
I know, yes. She's the most beautiful
wallpaper,
here.
but you know, sometimes I like to pretend like it's real.
Definitely.
I can understand that. And so we are here. This is a new business and a new office that you have. Mm-hmm. Tell everyone, what is LoveStrong?
So, LoveStrong is it's a matchmaking service that goes beyond online dating. So essentially, we match people that are looking for a partner in love, and ideally, our best client is really somebody who's too busy to search for love or to go through the online process and to meet all these kinds of people only to find out they're not necessarily a match for them. So for us, we developed a service that we do all the work for you. So we'll interview everybody up front, and we only present the people that we feel would be suitable for you.
I love that idea so much.
Like it sounds like everything everyone of a certain age wants when it comes to dating.
It's honestly it's just been awesome. I discovered this. I kind of fell into it. I'm my previous employment. Well, my current employment. I'm an executive recruiter. So I've been an executive recruiter for over 20 years. And just through the years, I've had so many people reach out to me to see if I could match them up with somebody, just because I know a lot of people. So I just started doing research on this. Come to find out, it is a huge industry in other areas. So I don't know if you've seen Millionaire Matchmaker.
That's exactly where my head went.
Yes, that's exactly it.
TV, right?
That's exactly it, yeah. So come to find out, it's a huge industry. I fell into a certification program called the Matchmaking Institute. So I finished the course, so I'm a certified matchmaker now.
What does that mean? Like, I need logistics. What does that mean for a certified matchmaker? So what kind of training or schooling did you have to go through? Like, are you learning about people's psyche in a way?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you dig pretty deep, and you go through everything about starting a business as well. So you go through a lot of the marketing and the advertising and what can you do to grow this business? How do you approach clients? How do you set up the business? Because everyone that has this type of business may set it up a bit differently. So for me, through the course, I got to network with a lot of other matchmakers that were either starting or that were established already. So it's been nice to have somebody that I can kind of brainstorm with, because otherwise, this is a new service here. There's nobody doing it here, at least in our region. So it's nice that I get to just discuss to see what's the best setup and what's the best format.
So I'm jumping ahead in my mind now, though. I'm thinking of this. Now there's this network of matchmakers all over the world that you're probably connected to. Yeah. Does that factor in trying to find matches? Do you have people who are open to matches in other cities, other locations?
Yeah.
How cool.
So currently I have 3 clients, and I'll just use my current clients as an example, but I have 3 clients that are paying clients. That being said, I have a database full of single people that's the first place I go to match people. Now, some of my clients prefer not to date in their hometown just because they feel that they have exhausted
it makes
their
sense.
matches.
Yeah.
So
if you've gone so far as to hire a matchmaker, you probably feel like you've done some work locally already.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, sometimes it's, they don't know you. They don't know people that know you. So it's just, and this way, if I go through the database first, but then if people are open to dating people in Toronto or bigger areas as well, because I do have some clients that would be, I have the opportunity to post within my matchmakers group, which is confidential, super private. And from there, I discuss and I network with other matchmakers and take it from there. But yeah, there's matchmakers around the world. this group. So,
do you think that a lot of people would still be kind of shy because there was that online dating stigma, right? And some people who, let's say, have been married for 30 years, kind of missed that online dating part. So they now would probably still be thinking, oh, maybe it's not the best idea, or I don't know how to do it. So that's why they come to you as well?
That's why they come to me. And I guess the first thing that I can say is that this service, our number one value is confidentiality. This is super private. We understand that people are afraid to talk about their personal lives and put themselves out there. It's one thing to do online dating where you have the full control versus this where somebody else is kind of helping you with your love life. So we understand. That being said, this is a great way to be introduced to, I hate to use the word quality, but good catches, I guess you could say. Yeah. And, we do all the interviews up front, so we meet everybody. We would never set you up with somebody that we are not confident would not only be a good match for you, but represent our brand well. So there's absolutely a vested interest for us in finding the right person for you. So
talk a little bit more about how that happens. You talk about you have paying clients and then you have this kind of network. How do you find clients and how do you find those people they might match with?
Yeah. Well, it's been a learning curve for me too, because this is a brand new business for me as well. So we've done a lot of advertising, like a lot of social media ads. My website is awesome. My partner had created it and I'm super proud of it. And it explains the services there. So you can join the free database and really you're put into a pool of people. Nobody can see you. It's just me that has access to it. And from there, there's some folks that want to join as a client. So as a paying client, that's when you get the one-on-one service from a matchmaker. If you're just in the database, you don't necessarily get the full service, but you could potentially get a call from me if you're a match for my paying client.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm loving this, first of all, because I feel like you're the type of person, too, that would be super vested in people. So I guess what goes into choosing the correct people? Like how
love your questions.
Yeah,
you guys are coming up with all the best questions. Because that is also something that I'm very careful about. Because at the end of the day, I need to be selective in who I choose to work with as well. Because I need to be able to sell them to somebody else, right? So my ideal client is somebody who is well employed, a good person, good personality, has a good presence in the world, I guess you could say, and they're matchable. So, because otherwise it's too difficult if somebody is, and it's not to say that some of these people aren't good potentials, but it's just tough if they don't have a job or, those situations, it can be difficult to match them up with somebody, so.
You must end up having to have a lot of tough conversations with people. Like I can imagine some.
I wish you could be a fly on the wall, which obviously confidentiality would be breached. But seriously, yeah. So there's a big coaching component to this, and like I told you guys, I'm a recruiter. I'm not a coach.
Right.
So there's been a lot of learning for me as well. But my intention is to bring on a coach, a dating coach. So I do want to expand this business. I know this is going to be huge because it's huge elsewhere,
right, and
there's nothing like this here. And if you're guaranteed to meet quality people, yes, there is a bit of an investment, but if you're guaranteed that, then, it's no brainer. But going back to the dating coaching, it is a service that needs to be present within this business.
So what if you found someone that you could almost mold? I don't know if that's the right phrase, but do you know what I mean? Like you coach them.
Polite term.
Exactly. Like, do you take them out on fake dates? Like, is that? Oh my God!
All of that. Well, I don't do it yet, but like this is the whole idea
dream
behind it. Like, I work for you. Hypothetically, if you were single and I'm working for you, I do whatever I need to do to set you up in the right light. So whether it's what to wear or how to present yourself, or, because honestly, appearance does matter.
Oh, yeah.
Or not even appearance, but just the way you present yourself. So yeah, there's definitely some coaching in that sense, but I've always done that with my recruiting business as well.
Right.
Well, I was just gonna say, and it's coaching in that sense of, if it helps your confidence in a dating situation to feel like, oh, I feel like I'm at my best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like that's, it's not just like, oh yeah, we're going to give you this fancy outfit to go and like make sure you use the right fork.
Yeah.
Right? You have to help people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably, when people think about matchmaking, I don't think they often go that deeper level of what it is you're actually trying to help people. It's not just finding a match, it's finding that self-confidence.
Yeah. And our goal is to have marriages happen. So that's our end goal.
In my head, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a movie. Do you know? Like, you must feel like that all the time. Like, I can see you sitting in the pews at the church at the end, just being like, yes, I did it.
Successful day at work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I can't wait for that first marriage. Because
Yeah.
it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're guaranteed to meet quality people, which I dig deep to find quality people, and I try to bring them on, whether they want to be a client or just enter my database. And it's free. There's nothing to lose. If you're on online dating, there's zero reason why you shouldn't be here, because nobody sees it. It's just me. And if you could potentially get a call, and it's free to you. So basically, if you're in the free data or the database, my paying client has already paid the fee. So then I go to the database. Yeah. Anyways.
Are you finding more interest from a particular age group or gender, or is there is there kind of a particular person who's coming out of the woodwork first who's like, yeah, I'm ready for this?
All female. All female. And I didn't realize this. I mean, other matchmakers in our group have been talking about how difficult it is to get men. Now I see it firsthand. It is so, I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because men are doing online dating, so I don't understand why they wouldn't want to do this. Maybe they're just
Giving up control.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think too, it comes back to that idea too of confidence, right? It takes a lot of self-awareness and confidence to say, I need
And
help.
it's vulnerability.
Right?
You're vulnerable by putting yourself out there and having somebody work on your behalf.
Well, and having to listen to someone who wants to coach you.
Yeah.
That's difficult for anyone, I think, right?
I've actually, so far as to thought about changing a bit of the business model or shifting it a little bit to have the service for men, which it's just because they're tougher to find.
Right.
So women are easy to find. Like, I don't know why. It's just easy to find women. They're more open-minded to the idea of matchmaking. So by doing it for men, then at least the clients that I have, it's a matter of finding matches for them. But anyways.
I also think it's probably a reflection of, if you look at any social media platform, the number of women who are using it is usually much higher than the number of men.
Absolutely.
And the men that I know that use those platforms use them to share jokes.
Yeah, that's a good
Right?
point.
It's still
really bad
used in a
jokes,
very
too.
different way. I every now and then I'll get a forward from my husband. I'm like, yeah, that's
Okay, my boyfriend sends me videos all day, like reels and TikTok videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
So you just need to make some of those about matchmaking. Job done.
Show them how easy it is. But I also wonder if it would come down to if you had a male counterpart that was like, if guys would be more apt to go to a man.
Tosh, you're
to help
giving
them.
me like the best ideas right now. Like, that's actually brilliant.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I've just recently put it out there. I put a post out there just recently that I'm looking for matchmakers. The way my vision of this business is really to have a presence all over Atlantic Canada. So that way we can recruit and have a presence there where we have clients in Halifax, in St. John, in Fredericton, in different areas, because at the end of the day, clients are willing to meet people elsewhere. So by having recruiters all over the Atlantic Canada, it just opens the door and increases the brand and creates awareness. So
Yeah.
I think it says a lot about Moncton and Atlantic Canada in general in what's happening kind of maturity-wise in terms of our economy, that we're now at a point where you can look at it and say, oh, I see a business model here for this.
It's so exciting. I love it. Like, I love Moncton, so I love working here, and I love the community, the people. Anyways, yeah.
But you're 100% right. It is putting, Moncton is getting on a big city scale.
Yeah.
And we're going to find the more these people are moving out of the bigger cities and into our smaller city, that they're going to be looking for services like this that they had the option of before. Now they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I need Louysa. Where is she?
It's true, though. I think it's, there's still such a kind of a strange relationship, I think, here in the Maritimes, where people are very friendly, but not great at being friends. And I think it's
so true.
It flows through to dating, right? Like, it's very easy to find a workplace or find a neighborhood where people are very welcoming, but it doesn't mean that you suddenly have a social circle to go out into. And it's still very hard, I think, here to find things to get involved with. I know even when we first moved back here in 2009, there wasn't anything that you could do even as a couple, let alone as a single, to kind of get out and meet people other than go to work.
Yeah,
it's true.
And like, there wasn't, in Toronto, we used to go to all sorts of sports. I don't know if you've ever, it was like this intramural league where you signed up you joined a team, and every week you played a different sport.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to be good at sports.
Yeah.
So you weren't like intimidated by like, well, I'm not going to go join a basketball team or a volleyball team. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But if every week I'm going to go do something, I'm going to play dodgeball one week, I'm going to play, curling another week, whatever it was.
Sounds like
that's super
was-
cool.
I know.
That's another
Started up
strong
because
brand.
we talked about doing it years ago when we moved here, when it just wasn't a business model either of us were going to start. But it has, like, there's been so many people move in here that we need more of those opportunities to socialize differently.
I agree. Yeah. COVID has made it challenging, but yeah, I agree.
I can't even imagine dating over the last 2 years, how difficult that would have been. And lonely at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine dating, period, in the
Agreed.
current world.
Yeah.
And then putting a pandemic on top of it. I'm blown away that you don't have more people like pounding down this door.
Well, it's a matter of it's honestly, I'm so confident that it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's I myself, I went through this whole process about 3.5 years ago. I met my boyfriend on Tinder, so it's kind of ironic that we met on Tinder. But I guess the story behind that is that it took me so long to get to him. And a lot of, different types of people. And, if there's a way that you're guaranteed to meet quality individuals and they're presented to you and I address their background with them, I address their, what they're looking for, if they want kids, if, all these discussions that sometimes don't happen right off the bat, and they would be deal breakers for you. So at least I can address all this up front before introducing them to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you would already know if this person wants kids or if this couple wants kids or what have you. Now, you said in the beginning there that you know a lot of people. Have you been like quietly matchmaking behind the scenes between your groups of friends? Do you have any success stories that you can share? Just to prove your street cred?
Sadly, not. Well, I match people with businesses. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So I guess I get my credibility there.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years, so yeah, I mean, I work with a lot of companies across the province, so finding employees, and it's the same process.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
really is the same process. So you interview people, it's obviously more corporate, so this business is a lot more personal. So there's different set of challenges, but it's very much the same.
You touched on the point that you're looking to bring on more matchmakers. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because I think there's probably some people listening or watching that might actually be who you're looking for that role.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, the ideal matchmaker is somebody who is well-connected, whether it's well-connected or at least has the personality to meet people.
Right.
I mean, you have to get out there, you have to meet people, you have to be seen. and really be open to networking, and social media will play a big part on it. So if you're active on social media, you don't have to be a superstar in doing all of the posts, but as long as you're active and can network. You also, have to be responsible and in the way that you communicate. But yeah, anybody can really do it. It's not difficult. You just have to have the right personality and the desire, really.
Yeah, and the ability to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Do you know? But it's true. You can't be like, well, I've got the CEO of this company. Who wants to date
Exactly.
him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really, like I said, that's the number one value. So it's, confidentiality is the big thing for a lot of clients.
And I think that's probably going to be one of the more challenging things here on the East Coast, mostly even just because we are so small. Everyone does kind of know everyone.
Yeah.
And it's very hard sometimes to remember that there are those kind of boundaries that we need to start respecting.
And there is, the other thing that I'll add is that there is a level of trust that my clients have to put into me, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but these dates that I set up are blind. So they don't know who each other is. They don't see a picture, they don't know a name, they don't know anything. So I set up the date under my name, so I make the reservation under my name, whatever it is you want to do. Some people will go snowshoeing, some people will go to a restaurant, doesn't matter. But I make the plans, you guys both show up, and then you meet there. And the purpose of this is get beyond just looks, but that being said, it's not just anybody that I'm matching you up with.
Right.
I fully vetted them before, so that it's not, anyways, there is a risk and there's a bit of confidence that you have to put into me.
But I think it's good for people to get pushed a little bit outside their comfort zone sometimes to do things like that. Talk about the follow-up of that. So what happens after the date? Like, do they both check back in with you? Is there, does only the client check back in?
Back to the hard
hard questions.
Well, since I've been so excited. When I know there's a date happening, I'm on my phone the whole time, like looking at my messages. They're probably walking in right now. It's so new to me right now. So I've been following up with my clients. They typically message me right away when it's done. And then, I do deliver feedback. That's the beauty as well. You don't have to have these difficult conversations. At the end of the day, we're all adults. So I encourage my clients to, if you're not feeling it, if you're not interested, or you are, try to have these conversations yourself. But if not, I'm happy to have the conversation with them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have to wrap things up. So tell everybody where to find your amazing website.
So it's www.ilovestrong.ca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're on Instagram, Facebook,
LinkedIn,
everything.
All social media.
Look up LoveStrong
Yeah.
or Louysa Akerley, and
You'll
there
find
you
me.
are. And clients from anywhere?
Anywhere. I'm even Toronto area. Like eventually I want a presence everywhere because again, my clients are open to dating elsewhere. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many people I think are open to moving to the East Coast right now too.
Yeah.
That this is a great place for them to start. So since this is airing on Valentine's Day, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
I
so
hope
much.
you get an influx of people today.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be a busy week for you.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening and watching. And like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Show us the love too.
Yes,
and
please.
we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Thank you.